Okay. In the last session, we wrote application. At last, I fixed the code with the latest modifications. You can just observe. I'll revise for a second here. Okay. First, observe. We have started backend application. We are converting into microservice. This is what we have started here. Observe. So here, what are the different softwares we have done in the last session? Eureka Server. This is the first one we created. Eureka Server, this is just setup application. You can just see. I have created application with Eureka Server dependency. Single dependency. File new, Spring Starter project, just Eureka Server dependency. Okay. Then in the properties file, I just mentioned some recommended port number 8761. Okay, it's not the default recommended port number here. And we should not register self, and we should not able to fetch the registry here. We have tried the false. If you don't write false, also not an issue. Some unnecessary memory will be created because default values are true. Okay. And next thing, so I just wrote this annotation, enable Eureka Server. I'm just giving coding steps also here. This is Eureka Server EX. Dependency also, Eureka Server. Application.properties. You can just see. At main class. We wrote one annotation here, enable Eureka Server. Okay. Second thing, we have created API gateway server. Why gateway server? There are a lot of applications running in the backend. Okay, lot of microservices will be there. For example, employee microservice, admin microservice, product microservice, order microservice, like lot of microservices will be working. Employee service, admin. Just this is a dummy, I'm just giving product. Okay, so here, order. For all this, okay, I cannot give multiple IP address and port numbers to client application. Client application should have a unique entry, unique IP and port number. Okay, then I'm just creating gateway. A gateway application, a single entry and exit. If any request comes to gateway, gateway will select one service ID from Eureka based on the path, and it will execute the particular microservice and get the response and give it back. Okay, such a process is actually called as routing. Listen carefully. When the request comes based on the path, one service ID is selected, application name, getting the service instance, okay, means project details, making the request to microservice. Okay, that request is forwarded to application, reading the response here. Okay, that response is given back to browser, is actually called as routing. Okay, so here gateway major purpose is routing and security. Look at gateway application. This is mainly used for dynamic routing and security. Okay, What is routing or dynamic routing here? Dynamic routing. Choosing one microservice instance from Eureka based on request URL and executing microservice return response back to client application. If multiple instances are there, it will choose an instance which has less load factor. That is called dynamic routing. Okay, so this dynamic routing is the most important thing here. For this routing, you have to mention details like this. For which path, which service ID, you have to create a register. For example, a request comes like this, starting with the employee, later some characters, /** indicates some characters. Okay, if any request comes like this, we have to mention go to load balancer employee service. Load balancer will choose an instance which has less load factor. For example, you are running employee application 2 times. For the load concept, you are running 2 times. Okay, so this is going to choose an instance that has less load factor. For example, a request is coming for product. Later some characters, product save, product update, product delete. Then we have to write load balancer product service. This is application name or instance ID. Okay, this is what we are writing in the gateway configuration. You can just see gateway routing config. Okay, return type is route locator, parameter is route locator builder. This is a fixed structure. We have to write one route, look at the selected content. We have to write one route for one microservice. Okay, with any ID, path URI, see here. Service ID, LB:service ID. That is called URI. Where to go? Okay, so you need to give a path for which URL, where to go. If you have one more routing, copy this, paste it. You give any service ID, something like product service ID. This ID is your interest. Okay, here, this is a path, product. Go to product service. Of course, we don't have product service now. Just I'm showing as a comment section. How many microservices are there? Those many times you have to repeat. Okay, R is actually lambda expression. This is we are just writing. This is actually one route. R is a short format for route. Okay, it's a lambda expression. Okay, this is service ID. This service ID is actually inside our project. Starting of the application, we wrote like this: spring.application.name in the employee project. Same name matching. Okay, Deshwal are able to see while creating the employee project. We have properties file. We wrote a key name like the spring.application.name. Whatever the name you write, same name should be matching. Build not repeating. No, build only one time. We are going to take all the parameters. At last we build. Okay. This is repeated. Only this part is repeated. Commented section will be repeated for you. Any ID, this path, are you able to see the path? Path also, while creating employee application, we wrote REST controller. Okay, /employee, request mapping, class level path. Okay, one small issue. One small issue here, it's not taking multi-level path. /abc, /emno, /employee is not taking. This is only issue, actually. So I'm just checking what is the problem even. It's not accepting multi-level path. Remaining all are working. Okay, after gateway configuration, before to that only Spring Boot application it is working. With the gateway it is not working. Okay, so observe. First we created Eureka server, second gateway. The purpose of the gateway, revising for a second, when a request comes, go to Eureka server, execute the microservice, give the response back. That is called dynamic routing. You have to give path and URI. Okay, path and URI. You can just see here with gateway application. Okay, and one more thing, cross configuration. Okay, they just modified in the latest version as a cross filter, cross web filter. Okay, in the slight reactive programming, it's a web filter they created here. Okay, everything is just same. We have to return this cross web filter here. Okay, this is a global configuration here. Okay, so here allowed origin we have to mention, and allowed methods and allowed headers. Just we have to write a global cross configuration. Okay, as of now, you just copy paste this. At last, I'll show, okay, what is the meaning of these lines one by one. Okay, so here, this is coding steps I'm just giving. First, create one application, name, gateway server. These are actually fixed, only routing changes. Okay. Okay, what is the issue here is, this is cross configuration in the last session. Okay, there was actually web filter we have to use. Okay, this we did not use. In the latest version, they moved to this one. Older version, same annotations and concepts only. Up to cross configuration, if you create the object, it was working. But now they moved to filter. If you have multiple UIs, just to pass copy comma separated values here. Allowed origins is actually list. You create a list of values and pass. Comma, one more, comma, one more, comma, one more. Okay, if you have multiple UIs. Okay, so here this dependency, it's a gateway. Next, application.yml or properties, anything you just take it. Okay, this is just Eureka location, port number, and gateway server. And B, routing configuration. No, Santosh, only this one you have to repeat. Repeat this one. Okay, port number also 80, no issue. No issue here. Port 4200 port number is actually Angular port number, Angular application. Angular will make a request from here. Angular is running in this IP address and port number. That's what we need to give here. Santosh, in case of another application, another microservice, don't create one more bean, repeat this one. Repeat this one. Yeah, here we need to add Eureka dependency also. Eureka discovery server, because gateway has to connect with the Eureka discovery client, sorry, not server. It's a discovery client. Okay, so it's just like a permission and stopping here. Okay, so outside application, do we need to allow or not? It's a type of security. Otherwise, every application will make the request and they will access, right? So routing. And next one, cross configuration. Okay, this is what we have done. Okay, problems actually two things. One is actually latest one. In the last session, I written this. See, what was a mistake? In the last session, I just written this one. It's not taking cross configuration. They are just converting this into new cross web filter and returning. Instead of direct return type, converting into web filter and return. That's a one change. Second change, multi-level path, two mistakes. Slash API and slash employee is there, right? I remove slash API. Okay, remaining everything same. Let me run this application and show one time for you. Even front-end application and back-end. First run Eureka server. Always follow execution order. First run Eureka server. Go to browser and confirm 8761. Second run config server. Sorry, this is microservice applications. This time we have only employee application. Observe carefully, even if you go to real-time project, other than employee project, all are same. Then run gateway server. Just go here and again refresh, check everything, all instance available or not. Employee service and gateway service. Sushant, I have done two changes. Okay, one is in the cross config. Okay, instead of returning this object, I just return this filter structure. Okay, and second one in the employee class, slash API and slash employee was there, right? I remove slash API. Okay, in the front end application also, under SRC environment, okay, here also I remove slash API. Okay, now I'm running the front end application. Okay, ng serve -- open. I'm just creating a record here, ABCD. Sam. Register, employee 10 created. I just tested old records here. You can just see 10. Okay, edit, ABCD, MN, update, updated. Working fine here. Look at the changes again I'm showing here. Okay, just for your understanding. I'm not sure why it is not supporting multiple path. If I give multiple path in the latest version, it is giving some error. Here in the old version, I wrote like this. You can also test it. Slash employee, slash API, slash employee. This is removed. This is a 1. Okay, one change. Second change, this is only cross config, but direct return type is not accepting. Okay, they just moved to web filter in the latest version after 2.4.9, so 2.5.0. Okay, now it's actually 2.5 versions. They are moving into filters. First, they are converting this configuration into filter and they are just allowing here. If any outside application is there, we should not allow direct access. It is something like a gate passer. Okay, so any outside application is there, we should just confirm it. Yes, you can allow to access this. 4200 is Angular port number. See here. It's Angular application. Hey, Angular application, you can just allow here. Okay, this is 2.4 5.8 version. It's not 2.2.9. Yeah, authorization will come later. Okay. OAuth actually comes later. Security will come later. Security will be linked to gateway. That I'll show later here. Don't worry about that. Okay, we are going to see some token-based programming. Okay, you are asking continuously question. I'm just giving answers. I just want to take the session. At last, you can ask the questions here. Shall I continue? At last, I'll give some time. You can ask the questions. Okay. If you don't have Spring Boot knowledge, Spring Cloud knowledge, fine. You can ask the questions. At last, I'll give some time. Okay. Now see, there are a lot of microservices, right? Jayant asked at last, I'll give some time. You can join there. So here we have multiple microservices. All these microservices will be having some key values. If you just open, for example, employee, here we have key values. If you create another microservice also, Eureka location is same. Of course, might be database connection details also same. Instance ID will be same. Some common key values will be there, including value, not only key. Alok, are you listening from beginning? Ask your questions at last. Okay, let me take the session first. Authentication will come at last once we done complete cloud structure. At last, I'll add security here that is going to be linked with the gateway that is going to handle all the operations. Now here, I'm just using a concept called config server. This config server is going to hold some common key values that we are going to take the help of one Git vendor. Any one Git vendor. GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, anything is fine. Okay, to handle common key values here. Okay, today we are just adding here config server. Common key values at microservice application. Okay, so we are going to place all the common key values here, and every microservice will be connected to this one. Okay, how to do that one, that we are going to see. I'm just stopping all the applications. At last, if you run also, same output should come. Okay, now I'm creating a new application here. Config server. EX. Next button, choose a single dependency config server. Next button and finish button. I think it's a version update. This is another headache actually in Spring Boot. They are continuously doing update actually, not giving a stable version. I expect actually one stable version. I don't know why they are behaving like that. Okay, so here config server application is created here. Okay, I'm just going to take the git location help here. So I have one GitHub account. There I'm creating a new project, new repository here. Just I'm writing here, config app props. Okay, creating a repository here. You can use anything, GitLab or GitHub. Okay, there I'm creating a new properties file. Creating a new file here. Okay, I'm just giving the file name application.properties, and the key, just taking only one key temporarily. Later we'll update all common keys. Just I'm moving one or two keys here. These two keys I'm just moving. At least one key, you just take it. Okay, that I'm just commenting here. In your project, microservice project, I'm just commenting. Okay, scroll down, commit new file. A file is created like this. Now look at the steps here. First go to github.com, register and login. A simple register process only. Verify your email ID. File name must be application.properties. Create one repository. Okay, click on plus symbol, new repository, enter name, example. Next button, finish button. Yeah, you can use GitLab also, not an issue. Okay, create one file. Name I'm just giving here, application.properties. YAML also okay. properties and YAML, file name recommended application. Profiles also you can use -QA, -dev also you can use. Okay. Add common keys. Example I just mentioned here. Okay. Scroll down and click on commit button. Okay, now we have to take the details. Click on the name. Copy this HTTPS URI. We can use my URIs only here. Username. Password. Branch is actually main. This is a default branch only we maintain here. It's a main branch. These are the details required. Again, I'm showing how to copy the URI. Click on code, this line. Or you can copy the URL in address bar, add .git. Okay, github.com, username, project name, .git. Okay, now open your config server project. There I'm writing server.port. Okay, recommended port number 8888. See, port numbers your interest, sir. Okay, these are only recommended standards. And then I'm just adding some keys here. URI. Copy this, paste it. Username. Password. Label main as a branch name. Like this we need to give. Okay. So just, and here we have tried one annotation here. @enable config server. So this is created with a GitHub account with a common key values. You create one application here with a single dependency. Config server. Application.properties. Okay, get main class. That is fine. Okay, now to your employee application also, to your employee service also, right click, Spring, add starter, config client you need to add. In your employee project, config client, pm.xml and finish. If you run employee application, it says, no, I have to connect to config server. If you try to start, it won't be started. Okay, it says you must add Spring config import option here. This key you need to add. It will definitely show the error. Okay, here I'm just writing at last. Config server location. http:// local host, it is running 8888 port number. That's what I gave. Okay, at microservice, all microservices you have to do. Add config client and this one. Okay, now you try to run the applications, including front-end application, and test the same output is coming perfect. First, Eureka server. Then config server. Config server you can test like this. Config client dependency. Right click on employee service. Spring, add starters. Config client. Okay. Next button, pm.xml and finish button. Okay. At the employee service, properties file. This one. Then execution order. Eureka server, config server, then microservice application and gateway. Eureka server started. Config server you can just check like this, started or not here. 8888 /actuator and /refresh, just for confirmation purpose. Check this URLs, are they started or not. Then run microservice applications. Then run employee service. Then run gateway service. Wait for a second, you have to see the service names here. Employee service and gateway service. Then run front-end application. Yeah. So if you click on all, you should be able to see the data. If you want to test it, add record. ABC 222 mail QA HYD. Register, view all. Hope you are able to see. Okay. If you are listening this concept for very first time, I'm just giving some points again. Please look at. No, sir, I don't know config server. First time I'm listening. Why this one? Look at carefully. Now, microservice means every module is one project. Employee module is an employee project. Admin module is an admin project. Monolithic application, it's a one module, right? But microservice application, these are projects. Every project contains properties file, right? These are the keys. Okay. These are the keys. These common keys need not to write again and again and again and again. Okay. So you have some common key. For example, ID is equals to 10. 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 Why you write 4 times? You write one time id is equals to 10. Share it to every application. Okay, that is called config server. Even some people used to ask, sir, how can I pass the key values from outside the project? By using config server only. Config server is a location. You can just place your all the key values outside the application and you can access here. Okay, you can just access here. Okay, so here two things. One, you create the config server with the GitHub locations here. Second, in your employee application, add the dependency and location, mention the config server location. This is a key you need to add where config server is running. Recommended port number is 8888. You can change it, no issue. This is recommended port number for config server. Clear? Okay. Now, once you do modification and if you run the application, you should be able to see same output how you are able to see before. Okay. I think front end only easy if you compare to back end if you feel. Don't worry. This structure again I'll repeat for major project. That's why I'm taking mini project here. I know that a lot of people will get confused. Okay. Yeah, it is a simple point. We are placing all outside. I'll share this complete workspace also for you as a zip format. Okay. I'm unable to create some Git accounts. Okay. Mostly this Saturday or Monday, I'll show GitHub account creations here. Okay. Srinivas, how they are working is again I have to start the course. Okay. So if you just attend the regular class courses, there I used to show. Okay. Only your question answer is 2.5 hours. Okay. I'll try to show the diagram if possible. Recently I finished. This is config server workflow. Okay. Actually, you have to finish the Spring Cloud course. You should attend the project. Lot of people directly they're attending. That's why they're not understanding. Okay, because I just gave free, they are attending. First, you have to finish Spring Cloud. Then you have to attend. You have to practice that Spring Cloud course. Then you have to attend here. How they're working internally there. It's a project. I'm just using them and creating the project here. Okay. If you have any questions, okay, share your raise your hand. I'll unmute your device. You can ask. Okay, lot of questions coming in the chat. I'm unable to read. Okay. Yeah, we can run in any order, config server and Eureka server, but before microservice application. Yeah, we have to deploy all the applications in the order. Okay. Today, I'm just stopping the session early. Continuation we see in tomorrow's class. Thank you for session. Okay, I'll give support today. A lot of questions are there, right? I'll give support today. Remaining people can leave. Thank you. Yeah, Narasimha Rao, ask your question.
Sir, actually, your gateway server you have